Hi there, it's Pi again with my Italian lessons. In the first 3 lessons we have introduced some basic ways to introduce yourselves. In the last lesson we covered the issue of formal and informal you. This time we are going to put it into practice. Let's start by imagining a situation in which you would ask, let's start by imagining a formal situation in which you would like to introduce yourself and ask for the other person's name. You could say something like, Buongiorno, sono Smith, which is, good morning, I'm Smith. We're hypothesizing that it's 11 a.m. and your name is Mr. Smith, or Smith. You could say either, Buongiorno, sono Smith, or you could say, Buongiorno, sono il signor Smith, which is, Buongiorno, I'm Mr. Smith. If you need to use the word Mr., the Italian for Mr. is signor or signore, depending. Signore is Mr. as in Sir in English, whereas signor is Mr. Mrs. is Mrs. and Miss is signorina. You also need to use the definite article when you introduce yourself, so it will be il signor, la signora or la signorina. When you're not introducing yourself but you're addressing someone else, you will not need to use the definite article. So you can say, Buongiorno, sono il signor Smith. Or you could say, Buongiorno, mi chiamo Smith. Good morning, my name is Smith. In this case, you should not use signor, signora, signorina, but just your name or your surname, to which you could add, e lei? And you? Or, lei come si chiama? And what is your name? Which is the formal way to ask someone for their names or surnames. Remember, the formal way is e tu or e tu come ti chiami. The main difference between the two forms is that the formal is indirect and uses the third person and the female pronoun lei, the equivalent of the English she. What about asking more than one person for their names? The informal way is ciao, mi chiamo Smith, or il signor Smith, e voi come vi chiamate, which is hi, I'm Smith, or Mr. Smith. And what are your names? You could also say, e voi chi siete? Who are you? But it might sound a bit rude. The formal way, on the other hand, is buongiorno, mi chiamo Smith, il signor Smith. E loro come si chiamano? Which is literally means, good morning, I'm Smith, Mr. Smith. And how are they called? I'm providing a literal translation to make you understand that whereas the informal way to address the plurality of people uses a second person plural, the formal form of address uses a third person plural. Okay, I suppose that is probably enough for this lesson, but let's do a quick recap first. When asking someone's names, the formal way is lei come si chiama when addressing a single person, e loro come si chiamano when addressing 2 or more people. The informal way in this case is voi come vi chiamate. Hope this is useful and you will keep following my channels, as more useful lessons are yet to come. If you have any questions, drop me a line and I will be happy to provide some answers, or might even set up some private lessons if you think you might benefit from that. And while you're there, why don't you subscribe? See you next time. Alla prossima. Ciao!